Hi, I'm Sally and I'm a winemaker in Bordeaux. And I'm also a tutor at the École de Vin de Bordeaux, the Bordeaux Wine School. Today I want to talk to you a little bit about some food and wine pairings. So I'm here in my vineyard on the right bank. It's in an appellation of Fronsac, which is neighbours with Pomerol and Saint-Emilion. So Merlot very much is the dominant grape variety here. In fact, here at my vineyard, I grow Merlot and I make wines from 100% Merlot. In the Fronsac appellation, you can also grow other grape varieties, including white wine grapes, such as Sauvignon Blanc, Semillon. But when you bottle them, they won't be called Fronsac appellation. They will be bottled as a Bordeaux Blanc, but more of that later. Anyway, when it comes to Merlot, it comes in all kinds of different styles, which makes it so really, really good for pairing with food. So for example, you've got the ones that perhaps you know more of, which are oak aged, and they have been blended with a little bit of Cabernet Sauvignon, and those are actually you need to keep those a little bit longer before you drink them, and then they will also actually keep for longer in your cellar. But another style that we have a lot more now is very much a fruit-driven, supple wine that, with the smooth and rounded tannins that are typical of Merlot, go really well with all kinds of different kinds of food pairings. So what I want to do today is go back in the kitchen, have a look at what might be really good in the store cupboard that could go for a supper made with everyday ingredients and pair well with a Merlot, and also potentially with a Bordeaux Blanc. So let's go back inside and do some cooking. So here we are back in the kitchen, and let's have a look at some recipe ideas and the wines that could go with them. So because Merlot is fantastic for making a sauce, because the tannins are not too strong, what I did here was I took some chicken breast and I dipped it in flour, fried it off in a little bit of olive oil, and then took it out the pan, and then threw in some mushrooms, equal amounts of stock and red wine, and then let that bubble away in the juice with some fresh thyme and some seasoning. And then you pop the chicken back in right at the end, and then they can finish cooking and get the sauces all into the meat. Now, I am actually going to serve that tonight with sweet potato and carrot mash, equal amounts of both, but that could just go with normal mashed potato, or why not throw some carrots and parsnips, other root vegetables, into the oven, because the caramelized nature of the vegetables when they've been roasted go really well with a Merlot. So I've got one here which is quite young. It's very much that fruit-driven style that hasn't been aged on oak. If you look at the colour, you can see this really lovely bright red ruby colour, which is very typical of a youngish wine, and this will go great with the chicken that I've cooked up. But if you've got children and you don't want to have the red wine sauce, why don't you just take the chicken breasts and cook with the roasted vegetables, because that can work really well too. As I mentioned, Bordeaux Blanc is made all across Bordeaux, and so the appellation Bordeaux, you can have a white wine that is typically a blend of Sauvignon Blanc and Semillon. And this is really crisp and acidic, has a great acidity, lemony, herby flavours, and as you can see, it's got a lovely pale lemon colour. So this is super midweek with perhaps a piece of salmon. You can either poach it or grill it or fry it. Serve it with some lemon, and I've actually got some lemon thyme here, but others, fresh herbs would go really super with the wine, and then asparagus, which is coming into season. So asparagus would go super with the meaty salmon, and also the crisp freshness of the Bordeaux Blanc. And that would make another great meal. So as you can see, there's all kinds of styles of wines here, and in fact, don't be afraid to just try out different pairings. So I've talked about Merlot with the chicken and with the roast vegetables, but you could also mix it up and try Claret, which is a deep rosé colour, very much on the fresh fruit as well, and that is also made in the Bordeaux region, a lot from the Merlot grape, but it actually isn't oak aged necessarily, and has this sort of more of a rosé tang about it, which could also go really well with the chicken. So I really hope that you like the ideas that I've been talking about today. If you've got any comments on the video, don't hesitate to send them along. We'd love to hear from you. And in the meantime, all I can say is happy cooking, happy wine pairing, trying out new ideas, and bon appetit.